Alright, so this is sort of like a PSA announcement that I wanted to give out to anybody who's having trouble with the new Proving Grounds for Malgus. So, a lot of the major counters that are out right now are for like Sith Eternal or Jedi Master Luke and Jedi Knight Luke Lead and stuff like that. So I don't have any of those characters. I'm basically just limited to SLKR, which I'll show you here right now, my top roster. I really only have SLKR as like a viable team right now. But I was actually able to complete the event with just SLKR and all First Order with Malak. I'll show you the lineup and I'll show you all the stats real quick. But first I wanted to show you, so here's the Proving Grounds event. I'm hoarding my energy as you saw for double drops. But if you look here on the Malgus, I actually was able to complete the event and I got my 20 shards for Malgus and I will actually have him here soon. So I'll show you the team that I used real quick. I want to caveat this by saying that literally this took me all day to do. I would say that estimated probably anywhere from about 80 to 100 attempts of me doing this. It was heavily dependent on RNG. Like, I don't know how many times I attempted this before I actually got a run where I was able to complete it. But anyway, so here's the relics I have. Pretty basic in terms of like relic requirements for SLKR. I have SLKR Relic 7. I have him modded for speed. Here's his stats. Really not that impressive, at least, you know, for as far as like really good SLKRs go. Here's my crew, also Relic 7. Obviously, he's required for SLKR at Relic 7. Here's his mods, modded him for health, a little bit of speed. Again, nothing crazy. My Hux, modded him for speed. He's not even above 300 speed, and I was able to get it to work. I'll tell you about the strategy here in a second. It's a little hard since I don't actually have gameplay, since I wasn't recording when I actually did the Malak event, and I don't want to spend the 2,200 crystals right now since I'm kind of hoarding for the new not Fury class, the marquee events for the new Sith ship, the Leviathan. But anyways, here's my Malak here. Again, nothing super crazy, only Relic 5. Don't need crazy relics for this. It is just extremely RNG dependent. Here's my Sith Trooper. Again, nothing super crazy. So the strategy that I use, which again, I want to stress the importance of this. It took many attempts before I even got this. I literally, like, anytime I had a break in the day, I was attempting this, and I finally got it maybe an hour or two ago. So basically, Darth Revan always opens up, and he gets the death mark, and what you want to do is basically just go in all in on Revan. What I did is SLKR would go after they would take all their turns, stun Revan. Then General Hux should get his turn unless he has fear. So if he has fear, pretty much just restart. But then pass the turn over to SLKR, and instead of doing like the siphon on his AoE or the strike again, you just do the basic attack and get rid of Revan. So then the next character, it doesn't really matter who, should take a turn on the enemy team, get Deathmark. The only thing that you need for this to work is Malgus cannot get Deathmark. Every other person on the team needs to get Deathmarks, like Sith Assassin, Talon, Bastila. They all need to get Deathmark, and you need to just take them all out. So then Malgus is going to get super juiced. His Dark Deception ability, the big hit, is going to do like 500k. So what you want to do is just keep using the Siphon ability whenever you can from SLKR on Malgus to try and reduce some of those stats so it doesn't hit as hard. Although, once again, it took me many tries before I got to the point where I could actually beat him, because Malgus on his own with the modifier, the Grim Machinations, has so much health that he basically just one-shots your SLKR and pretty much everybody on your team. So you pretty much just have to get lucky. Make sure you take out everybody on the enemy team with Deathmark, because you're not going to have enough damage just on your own with this team to get through any of them without that Deathmark on them. And once you get down, Malgus is basically just going to solo your team. So you just have to pray and keep siphoning until you get to the point where your SLKR just is able to take him down. It's also kind of dependent on the ult charge for SLKR. You want to try and get as much ult charge as possible, and every time that you get every time Malgus is on his own and it's just like a 1v1 between Malgus and SLKR, it doesn't matter how much ult charge you pretty much have to always go into ult, because otherwise if he gets a Dark Deception off, you're just dead. So you want to time out your ultimate with the Dark Deception so that your SLKR does not die. It's extremely hard, it's extremely difficult, but I know there's other people out there like me who don't have a JML or a JKL or a JMK cat or anything like that that can actually beat this event. So if your only option is SLKR and you happen to have Malak as well, this is an option. It was going to take a lot of attempts and a lot of time, but if you really want these shards and this is your only GL, only squad that you have, like me basically, then it is doable, but it takes a lot of time and attempts. So that's just my sort of little PSA. Sorry I didn't have any gameplay to actually show you how I did it, but I did indeed get the shards. It took me so long, but hopefully this helped you in some way.